I'm going to start this video by asking you a simple question. Do you know how good you are at trading? It seems like a stupid question, right? How can you not know that? I can guarantee by the end of this video, you'll probably find out you actually didn't. The best way I can prove this to you is with a simple example. If I was to ask you, how was your trading last week? Or how did you trade last week? I can guarantee you'll probably respond with one of two responses. Oh yeah, it was a good week, I made 3%. Or you'd say, it was a bad week, I lost 3%. But you haven't actually answered the question. It's the same way if I was to ask a football player, oh, how'd you play in the game last week? And they say, yeah, we lost 3-0. They haven't answered the question. I'm trying to find out how they played, and they're just answering, telling me the score. It's the same as me asking you how you're trading last week, and you're just answering with the score, the percentage. So, how can you find out how good you actually traded, how good you are at trading? In this video, I'll give you 3 essential metrics that you can track in order to actually find out your own trading abilities. Most traders out there all fall into the same trap where they're never actually improving, they're staying in the same circles. They have random good weeks, random bad weeks, they're not really following an edge, and they don't know how to improve on their own trading. With this, you'll be able to see your actual strengths and weaknesses, break out of that cycle, and start moving towards profitability. Alright, just quickly, I want to mention that in order for this to actually be helpful to you, you need to have a strategy with concrete rules and an actual edge. For example, my strategy has very specific rules. I can't just randomly enter here and there because I think something's good. If it doesn't follow the rules, I just simply don't take it. It needs liquidity. Liquidity has to take out its own high, it has to be an untapped zone, and it can't close in that untapped zone. On top of all this, we just have to be in trend anyways. And when you have all these things, then you can look for trades. So this is an A+ example. Pick this one just because it's very easy to see. So if you have that, you'll be fine. If not, then I recommend you go and watch my full strategy guide so you can actually learn a proper strategy. So what should you actually be tracking in order to find out how good you are at trading, make improvements, and stop focusing on the percentage? Okay, so the first one right here is valid trades missed. Now, once you've seen this first one, you obviously understand why you need to have a proper strategy so you know what's valid and what's not. It has to be concrete. It can't be just up to your decision making. If you're still in that stage of trading where you see a random position, for example, and you think, oh wow, amazing resistance level is obviously going to go up, so you just buy. This is still a random stage of trading where you have no edge. You're too much of a beginner to actually become consistent. So with a proper strategy, you can track stuff like valid trades missed because you know exactly what that is. Also, know that when you track this, you have to record the reason. So if it's something like you were just out at work or you were busy with something, obviously that's a fine reason to miss a valid trade. If the reason is something like you were hesitant, you were overanalyzing, so you made up reasons to not take the trade, something like that, then that is obviously a bad thing. So you have to note down the reason as well, and that will allow you to improve properly on this. Now, I recommend only recording these at the end of the week because during the actual moment, you're going to have a lot of bias. You can't just say you missed a valid trade when you just see it play out instantly. You need to look at the end of the week once it's already passed, and then you can have a proper unbiased view on it. Okay, so the second one you should be tracking right here is valid trades taken. Now, this is a pretty simple one, and it allows you to know the positions you should be taking, that you are taking, how many you've not missed, and how many you've actually capitalized on. So you can start to see how even just with these two, you're building a picture of your trading performance, how you're actually trading. And the third and final metric here that you should track is invalid trades taken. So this one, again, all 3 of these are obvious, but I've just never really seen this spoken about. It's the only way to actually find out how you're trading. This one, self-explanatory, will tell you the trade you shouldn't have taken, that you ended up taking. The reasons for this, you should try and note, but you're not always going to know it. Usually it'll just be due to FOMO. You try to force a trade, you told yourself it was valid in the moment. And with me saying this, you can see why it's very important that you record this at the end of the week, not just after it happened. For example, you could have taken a trade that was completely valid, and then it loses. You might instantly come to this and record an invalid trade taken just because you're sort of annoyed about the loss. You convince yourself it wasn't valid. Obviously, that is going to be counterproductive, so it's important you wait until the end of the week to do this, and you'll have no emotional bias attached to the trade still, and you can be completely honest about whether it was valid, whether it was invalid. As you can clearly see, it's very important you have specific rules and you know what you're doing, otherwise there's no way of labeling a trade as valid and invalid. So bringing all 3 of these together, how are you actually going to use it to improve your trading performance? Well, the first way is you need to understand trading performance is to do with these 3 metrics and nothing to do with your percentage result. For example, last week I could have made -2% and somebody else made +4%, but I'm a better trader than them and I traded better in that week. these three stats will tell you exactly that. But that person who made plus 4% could have had these as their results. They took 3 invalid trades, only 1 valid trade, and they didn't actually miss any valid trades, so that's a good one. So from this you can clearly see they did not perform well last week. They traded badly, they took 3 invalid trades that just happened to make money. Trading is so confusing for human psychology because you can do the wrong things and still get a good outcome. But long term, it's impossible to be profitable this way. This stat right here is why many people fall into the trap of never actually improving, because they get good feedback from it one time when they make profit, they get bad feedback from it another time when they lose money. Human psychology is not built to function in probabilities. Our human nature is designed to function in certainties, right? We know when something bad happens, it's dangerous, we have this reaction. Think about the caveman brain. Things just happen, you should react this way. Probabilities don't exist really anywhere else, unless you're playing maybe rock, paper, scissors, or something completely random. But this is the true nature of the markets, and it's very difficult. Over time, you have to get an understanding of this. It takes a long time, and seeing it play out properly. But as you can imagine, without a proper strategy and proper rules, it's impossible to even see any of this stuff. And so now you can see that loop and that circle traders get trapped into, and they just can't escape or make any progress. So I want you to compare these two results. I've drawn them all out. You can see by looking at this very clearly which one is the better trader, and it's actually the one who lost money that week. So hopefully this is very eye-opening for you guys watching this, and with implementing this performance tracking system, you can now actually start to improve on your trading and break out of that cycle traders are stuck in. See what you're doing every week, every month, see the reasons for it when you record some of them at the end of each week, and over time this will give you a huge improvement on your trading, and you'll be moving towards profitability instead of moving in just randomness, which is what unfortunately most traders out there are all trapped in at the moment. So that'll be it for today's video. For those of you who have watched me before, I am now actually finally back. I said it in the last video, and I had some problems where I didn't have Wi-Fi for a long time after moving house. So now I'm going to be back with the uploads. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.